Hey everyone! Well, this video is going to be titled, Why Anyone Who Purchases the PlayStation Move and bashed the Wii is a fucking hypocrite. Well, let's just talk about this for a moment. I just love how people are like, oh, I can't wait for Resident Evil 5 on the PlayStation Move. I can't wait to be able to play this and that and this and that on the PlayStation Move. But yet these are the same people who bashed Resident Evil 4's controls on the Wii, who bashed Metroid Prime 3 Corruption's controls on the Wii, and said, oh, you're going to shake it like a Wii-tard and all these little stupid shit things. Now, the question at hand is this. Why is it fine when Sony does it, but it's complete bullshit when Nintendo does it? I mean, you know, I don't understand that. If you're going to say, oh, it's for the hardcore market and all that bullshit, you need to fuck yourselves, people. Come on. That really annoys me, is that, you know, what I see, the only difference between the Wii and PS3 is graphics. And that's all it really has been about. You cannot say, oh, it's the controller, it's, you know, the games. No, it's all about graphics. And I'm going to explain this. The reason why most game developers haven't released their major titles on the Wii is due completely to graphics. Now, some will say, no, it was the storage. The discs can't hold as much. Really? You know, the Wii and the Xbox 360 have the same storage capacity on their discs, so that completely blows that one out of the equation. Then they'll say, oh, no, it's the controls. Then why the fuck are these same game developers who didn't release it on the Wii are going to be releasing it on the PlayStation Move, which is the same fucking thing? Yeah, it's graphics. Come on. That's all it has been about. That's why people consider the Wii not even a part of this generation. It's all about graphics. People are fucking graphics whores, okay? And the thing is that it really is stupid if you look at it. It's like, you know, people are complete hypocrites. They say, no, the Wii emote, you waggle and you look like a retard. You're going to be doing the same shit with the PlayStation Move. And now, when I watched the announcement of the PlayStation Move, like the official announcement of the name and then the montage video, all that kept flashing through my mind was the Wii montage videos that Nintendo released back in 2005. Now, back in 2005, that's one of the E3s of 2005, Nintendo showed off a bunch of montage videos showing different things that you could possibly do with the Wiimote. Being a tennis racket, so you heard sound effects of the tennis rackets. They showed you, like, drums. They showed the controls of Metroid Prime, and the guy's like, oh my god. And they showed the fighting with the sword and everything. Sony did the same shit with their montage video, just with a little bit more graphics. And they're ripping off everything Nintendo released. The game that's going to be bundled with it is essentially combining Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort in the same game with better graphics, same fucking controls. That's all it's going to be. I mean, I'm waiting for Sony to release its own frickin' balance board. I mean, you know, that's the next step for them to ultimately rip off the Wii. But the funny thing is how everyone's like, no, with the Xbox 360 and PS3 are better than the Wii. Then why the fuck did Sony and Microsoft come out with their own Wii, their own motion controllers, huh? Why? They wouldn't have released it if they were so confident that their systems would beat out the Wii. It's because the Wii is winning that they decided, well, look, wait, we have to come up with our own controls. We're gonna, Sony, since we're notorious and we have a long history of ripping off Nintendo's every frickin' controls, aka the original PlayStation. Well, why do I say that? The original PlayStation had the controller was just the D-pad, start and select, the L1, L2, L3, you know, whatever, and the 4 buttons. That's all the original controller came out with. Then Nintendo released their N64, because remember, the original PlayStation came out before the N64. The N64 introduced the joystick. So what did Sony do? They released, shortly afterwards, they released what was known as the dual analog controller. So it had 2 joysticks, and it had the ability to click them in for extra buttons. Then Nintendo released Star Fox 64, which came with the Rumble Pack, which was revolutionary. No other controller did it. So you stuck that in there and you got yourself Rumble. Sony, shortly afterwards, released the Dual Shock, which introduced, they put in the motors built in the controller. Now, do I prefer the Sony's version? Hell yeah, because it was built into the controller and you didn't have to buy a separate accessory. But Nintendo was the the pioneer of a lot of the things that you do in a lot of the things that you take for granted. Wireless controllers, they're the ones who got it right. Now, I know Atari had wireless controllers, I know Sega had them, but Nintendo's controller was one of the best. Now everyone this generation has wireless controllers. But Sony blatantly ripped off the Wiimotes. Now, you guys could say, no, they didn't. No, the technology is different. It's essentially the same thing. Because if you guys look back into it, actually Sony is contradicting themselves and being hypocrites of themselves. When the PlayStation 3, when they announced the 6-axis controller, they were showing off the ability to tilt it and stuff like that. The guy who, it was some fag, I don't know what his name was, he goes and he says that it doesn't require a sensor bar to use, unlike our competitors. Now, it's funny how he says that. How far did the 6-axis go? Only a few games supported it, and everyone thought it was a blatant rip-off of Nintendo. It was. What are they doing now? Oh shit, what is the eye? The eye is comparable to the sensor bar. Same thing. You can't use the motion controls without it. Same thing. So why is it that we applaud Sony for being complete assholes and being, hypocritical of themselves and, pretty much saying that Sony's solution is going to be better? Now, okay, it may have better controls, it may have more accuracy, but the point behind it was the fact that the same people who bashed Nintendo due to their Wiimotes are going to be the same assholes going out their first day to buy PlayStation Move, and they're going to say, oh my god, this is better than a Wii, but yet you're being hypocritical of yourselves. So yeah, fuck you all. With Microsoft's thing I don't think is ever going to take off because it doesn't seem practical. Some people say, oh no, wait, it's going to do well. It's going to do well. No. I don't think it will. Because the thing is that, imagine you're sick in bed. Do you seriously, are you going to be able to play the games without it? I mean, no. If a game is specifically designed for the Natal, then you're gonna, if you're sick in bed, you're not gonna be able to play it. Whereas with Sony's solution and Nintendo's solution, you can play in bed. I mean, I've done it. It's not that hard. But yeah, I mean, really, the only difference between, the Wii and the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 is all about fucking graphics. That's all it's been. That's what you have to say. Now, that's the thing is, if the same developers are releasing Resident Evil 5 for the PlayStation 3 with motion controls, you have to think, why are they doing it? And the original excuse was the fact that they couldn't program it for the Wii motion controller. Well, if they were able to program, Resident Evil 4 for the Wii, why can't they do it with number 5? And again, it all brings back to graphics, because we have become fucking graphics whores. And that's why a lot of the games that would be perfect on the Wii with the Wiimote and everything never happened. And now what's going to happen is a lot of the developers are going to switch over to PlayStation 3 just for its fucking controller. And I think it's bullshit. So yeah, everyone take care. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll be doing a new show of Player's Choice this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to be on the show, personal message me, and I will get you on the show. So take care, everyone, and have a good one, and hopefully I'll see you at the show.